mayizo yakhe background yokukhala kulungishile. Sanibonani. Good morning again. I'm wearing a green cap. This cap is from Greenleaf Biotech product. I will talk about it later as a solution, politically and economically. For now, I'm continuing with my journey of let's stop and think as Black people. Let's stop and think as Black people. Again, I think what Comrade Skhumbuzo Ndlovu has done with his colleague and others, where they have organized a program that says take KwaMashu back. In 1980s, take it back, take KwaMashu back. I wish all township, this thing to spread in all townships. Soweto, that is where Soweto uprisings occurred and started. All township to emulate this program of taking back your township, which is saying what really we fought for in 1980s as the youth of 1976. What was it really we fought for? So I thank that from Comrade Skhumbuzo and his colleagues. I also listened to Amawela Chesterville video today. Again, they are inspiring me as Vusi Mhlaba. Today they were talking about informal economy and formal economy. I think if all of us, we can go to it and follow it and see if can we do something. So I'm urging all the people of South Africa that let's not give up. Let's fight until the last day of our lives. So, fellow people, I will start by reflecting on strategies of the white monopoly capital, the most inner circle of white monopoly capital. The strategy they took to suppress us, even if how brilliant you are, what God has given you, but they were able to do that. One of the things, comrade, that now we need to go back to it is a strategy of fascism. Fascism is the decision white monopoly capital took to say they must always put fear in our minds. They must always put fear in our life. So we must live on fear. Then we will now unpack and try to list things that we see that they are using to put us in fear, so that we will not always think of future. We all work for when I'm dead, what will happen? When I'm dead, what will happen? That's what we are working for. We are taking too many policies. We are going to church every Sunday. We do the same thing. We read one in the same book which has been read for more than 100 years, and you don't finish it, but it has got a first page and a last page, but you don't finish it. So I'm talking about fascism. I will appeal to comrades and people to go through to that strategy. Because some of the things, comrades, we talk about it. But as I'm starting this journey of stop and think, I am saying, let us now do away with theory. Let us now do away with this social media, because we have seen now social media has taken away the live meeting where we discuss things. And two, if you look at it, it has done away with a organogram. Because I'm speaking here, I might be speaking here, say it's a political party. I'm a leader. Now I can't talk to the structure, because everyone now, even if a person you are not sure whether is a member or not. So this is a disadvantage of this social media. So, comrades, we know those who were living who were existing in 1980s. We used to talk about Stratcom, and we knew that the news that were given by electronic media, or before electronic media we had radios. We knew that the information we were given were censored. But what did we do with that? So those are the challenges we are having. The second strategy, the white monopoly capital, is a bourgeoisie, comrade. And in that, comrade, it says these white people, because they think ahead of us, they think 100 steps ahead of us. They will pick one person, and they make that person a better person in the community. So that we will be distracted from that person, and that is what formed classes. And therefore, comrades, if we look currently, this thing of bourgeoisie, it continues. And now how it is continued, in my view, the gear policy that was introduced by our government in 1995 is the one which perpetuates bourgeoisie in our society. And therefore, it created the third class, which in fact does not exist, because there are two classes. There is a working class and the other class of employers. So I like the way Comrade Themba Tembu, the provincial secretary of SACP, when he was making a presentation in one of SATU conference in KZN, where he was clarifying that there is no middle class. That thing, we don't have middle class. We just have two classes. So, comrade, I'm coming to that because in my journey to stop and think, I just want us to remind us these strategies of white monopoly capital, so that from whatever that I will present, we will be trying to mitigate or distract this strategy of white monopoly capital. So the third strategy, comrade, from fascism, where they use army, they use diseases. We didn't have AIDS, we didn't have cholera. They took away our organic food. Bourgeoisie, the strategy they are creating deliberately. That's why now it reminds me, comrade, that in 1980s from 75, we were fighting this thing of councillors, such that houses of councillors were burnt down. because we didn't want this thing called counselors in our society. We didn't want that thing. But how did we embrace it later? I don't know. I don't have an answer, but I'm a culprit of it as well. But I think the meeting called convened by Comrade Skumbuzo in KwaMashu and Kanyisweni on the 27th of April, we have to reflect on all these things, comrade. So the other famous decision the white monopoly capital took in Germany, in Berlin, where they supported the proposition of Rudolf Hitler, and became a resolution. And it goes like this, comrades. They resolved that for white people to maintain their superiority, they must ensure that the high standard of living of masses is suppressed. With masses, whom they referring to? They were referring to us. I believe people who studied history, who studied world wars, they would understand, they should understand why there was a world war. And they can now correlate it with this statement. So I want to repeat. They took a decision that for white people to maintain their supremacy, they must ensure that the high standard of living of masses is suppressed. Now, comrade, if I'm analyzing the word suppressed, now I'm looking at this 29 years in democracy. To me, I'm seeing our democracy being a tool to advance the decision taken in Germany, to ensure that we don't proceed, we don't prosper, whatever we can do. So we'll go to that, because when as I'm in my journey of stop and think, I want us to deal with the means of exchange and the buying power. To answer the question, why the buying power of our money does not increase? What causes doesn't increase? In 29 years, we are voting because in our understanding, in my understanding as well, if I'm voting for a person that will be looking after my interest. But what I've seen in 29 years, in these 29 years, going to polls does not assist us at all. If I'm still seeing a person going at bed hungry, then the question is saying, why should I go voting? Why should I campaign? Why should I go moving around calling people, asking people to go and vote? Vote for what? So those are the three things, comrade, that I said in my journey on Stop and Think. All what we need to work on is to try and understand these decisions taken in Germany, so that we will say how to reverse them, how to fight them. And we have to look at our strengths and weaknesses. Because if you wage a war, you must look at your strength, look at your weaknesses, look at the opportunities, and then you take an informed decision. Because like you cannot go to soldiers with submarines, missiles, with an upkill, you'll be killed. So in that, comrade, I want now to direct this from all that, and then to say, with masses, they were referring to us as black people. Because if you will recall, or you'll Google and search, what was World War about? World War was about that, why it was Russia against Europe. Because Europe wanted to use capitalism, and Russia was using socialism. So USA, because USA is for capitalism, they joined a USA and fight against Russia. And who were they fighting for? They were fighting for resources in Africa. The war was about Africa, to colonize Africa, to take over Africa, because it has got natural resources. But because Europe could see that socialism that is applied by Russia is getting momentum, is getting popularity, which they were against. So that's what sparked the World War. That's what sparked the World War. And in one of CADA's forum in Watubuza, which I attended, as President Jacob Zuma was moving around the country on that program, he explained that thing of Russia and Europe. So, comrade and fellow people, I will do this presentation. I will continue. And I'm urging everyone, comrade, let's not sit in our cocoons. We still have a duty to perform. That's why I'm keen, waiting for 27th of April, and go and listen what these comrades will be saying to take KwaMashu back to 1980s. Because, comrade, we are the one who must show these young ones who were born after 1990. If we are saying, no, it's not Youth Day, it's Soweto Uprising, we are the one who must show them. But if we are sitting on our cocoons, they will be misled easily. There is another video which was circulating. One of the member of ANC in one of the gathering was talking about how the youth is captured. How the youth is captured. The youth is captured by money. So there is no struggle. Our youth don't understand struggle. They are put in position because of money. Same thing applies to our union, South African Democratic Teachers Union, SATU. Without fear or favor, you can go to any principal in school, because all of them are principal. They come nowhere. They are principal. Has never solved even a problem of one educator. Has never solved even one educational problem in his society. So those are the problems, comrade. But in the next presentation, comrades, I will be dealing mostly with the means of exchange, means of exchange, which is money, and the question of why the buying power of our money deteriorating every day, every minute. You'll need to unpack things that we perceive that they are causing it. And I like it, comrade, the way Advocate Skakane put it, defining poverty, where he said, I quote him, poverty is the violence waged by white people against black people. So if it is violence, then we must retaliate with violence to poverty. And if you analyze in the country, country like South Africa, well, there is no need that we will talk about more than 40% of unemployment. There is no need. A country with gold, a country with diamond, country with coal, and everything. We've been faced with floods, but the following day you are told there is no water. And who manages water is a private company called, in Durban, it's called Umgeni Water. In Johannesburg, Water Board, something like that. Those things are privately owned. So, comrade, I think I must stop there today, and then tomorrow, or whenever I get time, but every time I want comrade to remember this decision taken by most inner circle of white monopoly capital in Germany. I think it was in 1830s, somewhere there, but it was January 31. So that every time, everything we talk about, we must move from there. Because we should not be naive and think things are happening out of blue. Let us now know that everything that is happening around us is the decision taken in Germany by the most inner circle white monopoly capital, that they must ensure that our standard our high standard of living is suppressed. So therefore, comrade, if you charge me VAT, to me, it's not a mistake. You charge me levies for plastic in the shop. So to me, if I'm reflecting on this decision, the answer I'm giving myself is that, oh, these people are giving effect to this decision. They implement this decision so that we will never come out of poverty. Even if you're getting income or you don't get income, but as long as you are a black person, the decision is that your high standard of living must be suppressed. I thank you. Please subscribe to my account in YouTube. Thank you.